Good morning, folks. It is Tuesday, the 22nd of March. I am Flat Cap Callum, and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right, coming up today, we've got the review of yesterday. We've got half stake day again, so third day in a row we're half staking, £10 our stake. And then we've also got the golf bet. So golf bet is today. So usually it's Wednesday, but because it's the World Match Play, it starts on Wednesday. So the golf bet is today. So that's going to come up as well. All right, I'm just going to dive straight in. I know there'll be some newbies on there. You'll need to catch up quite swiftly. Those of you regulars, you know the gig. We're on a high risk strategy here, so it's not all about singles. It's all about the accumulator. So yesterday wasn't our day in the end. So we had William Cody place. I say place. It was fifth place. So the only place that you'd have got money back there is Sky Bet. No one else paid that fifth place. And then we had Optimistic Bias, which was going really, really well, and then it pulled up lame. So these things happen. And then Military Tactic, that just never seemed to be in the races. I'm really, really disappointed with that run. And then we had Mega Day Speed. It was 7-1 in the morning, but we took SP yesterday, so only got 6-1 on that. And then Own Verbal, it was fifth. Fourth would have paid out most bookmakers. So I got back 3.19 of that, so £10 on, 3.19 back, so a 6.81 loss to start the week. So not ideal, but could have been a lot worse. And Mega Day Speed having a win there was helpful. So don't think anyone was winning off that bet yesterday. So that was yesterday's bet. Today we've got two bets. I've got a win lucky 15 and an each way lucky 15 within the £10. So we're going kind of smaller stake and spreading it across two bets. But I quite like both bets. I'll explain through. So bet one we've got here today is a win lucky 15. I think all these four are all overpriced. So as you know, on this channel, I'm not saying necessarily all four of them are the best chance of winning in each of those races. I think they've all got a really good chance, but I think in all cases the prices are bigger than what they should be. So I've got 1 o'clock Market Rasen, Urban Gift 5-1, 2:45 Be Good to Yourself 5-1, 3:01 Exeter, so the only Exeter one in that bet, Classic Ben 3-1. And then the 3.55 Market Rasen Cafe Pushkin 13-2. So I've done that as a 30p win lucky 15. So that's £4.50. So that's on singles, doubles, trebles, and accumulator. And an additional 50p win on the top two because they're the best two. So yesterday I said it was more of a psychology double. This one is, I think they're the best two out of those four. I mean, just to be clear, so yesterday's bet, for instance, if you'd bet all of those bet horses single, so rather than our accumulator, you'd done a more £1 each way, you'd actually come out with a bit of profit because we had one winner. So on bets like this, if you've got one winner, you're generally going to come out ahead if you're betting the singles. What we're trying to do is trying to get at least two, maybe three, or even four together, because then our profit increases exponentially and we get a much, much better return. So there were some questions yesterday on the comments around can you make profit if you bet all your horses single and you wouldn't make profit betting them single, can you win overall? And the answer is yes, because on some days you have two or three together and on some days you don't. So on the days you only have one in this bet, for instance, in one winner, you'd be better off betting them as singles. But if we catch two winners in this bet, then this bet is much more profitable by having it like this than having them all as singles. So if you're a more lower risk punter, this is a sound bet to take singles. So the channel's single win bets, if you bet them only as singles, you'd have a nice profit. The each way ones is more a break even situation. So that is bet one. And then we got bet two. So this is there's some higher risk in this, and I'll talk you through. So bet two, 126 Weatherby. So we've got literally one from each meeting, I think, in there. 126 Weatherby Silkstone. Sky are 4, they're the only ones paying 4. I would take that bet paying 3. It's clearly better with an extra place, but I think it's a solid bet, 8-1 Silkstone. Then got a risky one in there, 135 Market Rasen. So it's a 7 runner, I'm not a fan of them. My read of that race is the favourite looks like it's going to be a surefire winner. The second favourite looks very vulnerable. So I'm taking Le Balcon to be a speculative chance at second place, really. Unlikely winner, unless it's something really special, but at that price, I think it's worth a go at 18 to 1. Then got the 328 Clonmel, Sky Bet 5, and I think most others are 5 on that one, and I'm taking a chance on Okadango Boy. On last run, you wouldn't have taken it in a month of Sundays, but I think there's some value in there if you actually look back at, in terms of from a ground perspective, what it might like to go on. So we're going to go take a chance on Okadango Boy, and then the 336 Sky Bet 4. There are a few other selective bookmakers on 4, and I think Paddy a 4, Coral a 4. There's a few. Have a look around. It's a really competitive race in terms of value. There's a lot in there that I could take individually as value, and I've gone for what I think is the most value. But if that horse wasn't running, I'd have a couple of reserves to put in for that I would happily swap in. So I've gone for the one with the most value. So we're doing a 15p each way lucky 15 on the 4, and then additional 25p each way double on what I think are the two most solid. So Silkstone 8 to 1, and then Global Agreement 28 in the last race, which is also the one that's got the most value. So that is bet 2. So that's our £10 for today. If you want the golf, stay on. If you don't want the golf, cheerio, have a lovely day. See you in the morning. All right, golf bet. It's a little bit more complicated this week. There is 3 tournaments, but focusing most energy on the World Match Play. So I've got basically two sheets, but possibly a third sheet, and I'll explain. So golf bet number 1 here. So we've got in the Qatar Masters, and notice the line. So the top one there, Eddie Pepperell, is single only, and I know I've squiggled that really badly. That's a 30 pence each way single on Eddie Pepperell, 110 to 1. These are Sky Bet terms. You will get better elsewhere if you go looking. So unlike the horses where we have an advantage with Sky Bet, we don't on the golf. So Eddie Pepperell is single only. The others are going to come into some doubles. So also in the Qatar Masters, it's a lower price than what I've done on any golf bet on this channel. But George Quetzi is I couldn't leave him out because his form is so consistent in this tournament. So I want to keep him in at 20s in the context of what else I've picked. So I've got George Quetzi, and then I've got George Campillo. So I've got 2 Georges, but George and George, he's 50 to 1. So they are 50p each way singles. And in the match play, so a thing to watch out in the match play is some bookies are 4 places, because for those of you unfamiliar, match play is not a straight up tournament. This is like a knockout tournament. There's a group stage. It's like European Championship football type stuff. There's group stages, and then you get down and it gets the last 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and final, and third place playoff. Some bookies are 4 places, i.e. get to the semi-finals. Some are 8 places, get to the quarterfinals. Sky Bet are giving you both, and I'd rather take these bets as getting to the quarter-final stage, which is 8 places. So have a look around and see what you can find, but I would want to take these bets ideally for then. If you went for semi-finals, you get bigger odds. The bets are absolutely worth taking there. I just would prefer it for the channel bet for taking quarterfinals. So I've got Sky Bet there. Kevin Kisner 50s, Ian Poulter 66, Alex Noren 45, and Brian Harmon 50s, all 50p each way singles, and that's 8 times 10p each way doubles. So that's the 2 Georges in the Qatar Masters with the 4 in the match play. So that should make 8.20 your bet for bet 1 on the golf. Then bet 2, what we've got here is we've got George in the Qatar Masters, Kevin in the match play, and then we're going to have an additional one here, Hudson Swafford. So I haven't done much. It's the only one I've liked in this. And it's a ridiculously long title golf tournament, the Corrales Punta Cana Resort and Club Championship. Anywho, Hudson Swafford 40 to 1. So we've got a 50p each way single on Hudson Swafford, and then we're going to do a speculative 10p each way Trixie on those 3. They're the best 3 for this weekend for me. So 10p each way Trixie on those 3. So that's £10 your golf bet. Now, there's a but, because that's what the bet is for the channel right now. I wanted to do another bet, but it isn't priced up on Sky Bet, so I'm not going to put it on through the channel bet. If it does get priced up today, I will put it on the channel. Otherwise, what I'm doing is kind of sharing a bet that I can't record on the channel, but I want to share it because it might be useful, and some of you might want to do it because it's a different kind of golf bet, really, and it's got lower risk attached to it in terms of how I've done it. So golf bet 3 is actually winning of group stage, and it's the same 4 I've picked in the match play, but I've done it as a 40p win lucky 15. These odds at the moment are Paddy Power, so you can get. I've had a look around. You can get this bet on with Paddy, with Ladbrokes, with Coral. They're the only 3 I've found that are doing it at the moment. So I'm hoping others might price it up. But winners of each group. So Group 5, Ian Poulter. Group 6, Kevin Kisner. Group 10, Alex Norrin. Group 15, Brian Harmon. 40p win lucky 15. Now, again, you bet these singles. 1 wins their group and you break even. 2 wins their group, you've got a lot more money coming back on a lucky 15 like that than you have betting them singles. So there's risk involved. What I would say, I think if you look at Ladbrokes and Coral, if you're betting that way, Ian Poulter's a better price, Brian Harmon's a worse price. So if this bet's available to do on Sky Bet, whatever the price, I will put the bet on as well as the other golf bets. If it doesn't, I'm sharing it because I think it's a decent bet. I just can't place it through the channel. That is golf bet number 3, possibly. All right, hope that makes sense. Any questions, shove it in the comments. Looking ahead this week, tomorrow Dundalk is on, so that is going to be the main focus of our attention, probably on the channel, I'd imagine, is Dundalk. Thursday looks like it's going to be a quieter day because the UK all-weather doesn't start back again until Friday, so Newcastle's back on Friday. So this week has been a bit of a lull, really, because the all-weather has a break in between this week because the flat season proper starts on Saturday. So that is where we're at for today. That is where we're at for the week. So imagining normal day, probably Wednesday, might be a quiet day Thursday, and then it picks up Friday, and Saturday's a big day in terms of there's a lot going on. So I'm imagining the stake might be higher on Saturday for our channel. Okay, enjoy your day. I'll enjoy mine. I will see you in the morning, whatever. Thank you very much.